Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 6. We have made it almost to the finale, and I am so excited because we have just done so much work, so many changes, but all these things are moving toward what Carolyn has truly desired in her heart, and I'm excited for her. We're going to get right into it tonight. Carolyn, how are you today?
I'm good but exhausted.
Good but exhausted. But we've been pretty busy. At the same time, Carolyn is working her full-time job, but we are together, we are making everything happen. So we are really excited about the progress that's been made. And I'm just going to get right into it as far as what we will be talking about tonight. Um, and just moving forward with just like I said, just it's just exciting. And as far as everything that has been done and everything that is coming as a result. So let's get into what we're going to talk about tonight. So we're going to focus on three different things tonight. One, we will talk about the book. What were people's reactions? Two, we'll talk about the progress that we made. Did we make it? I know that's a big question. And then our topic for tonight, our learning topic for tonight is about social media and what are the ins and outs. I'm being bold, okay, because we've had so many great reactions from people. And of course, I want to get some more feedback from the audience before we get into tonight's teaching topic. But I'm saying already that Carolyn's book is going to be a bestseller because it touched so many people's hearts. Carolyn, how did you feel receiving the reactions from different people?
I could hardly wrap my head around it. I had to really stop and think because you asked about my different senses, smell, look, and to for it to come together like it did, I was amazed.
I love the way that it came together and just the way that it has touched people's hearts so far. And I said, this is just the beginning. I said, I can't wait till we get the finished product in people's hands. I would love to get some audience reaction here. I know many of you were actually there on Tuesday night when we did the beta reading. That was part 2 of our episode 5. Has Is there anybody on tonight that didn't have a chance to come to Tuesday night who would love to just mention how they felt when they read the book? Is there anybody on? You don't have to. I just wanted to see if there were any additional reactions. I see Miss Mitchell is here. I don't know if you had a chance to read the draft of the book or not, but if you did, we would love to hear from you and your opinion.
I didn't have an opportunity to read it, regrettably.
But that's okay. You will have an opportunity to read it later on. The finale is coming. And like I said, we're super excited because next week we will present everything that has been done. But like I said, the feedback on Tuesday was just so overwhelmingly good. It touched my heart to see how touched other people were as they had an opportunity to read the book. And even just looking at the cover, it really conveyed the story
Yes.
that we wanted people to connect with. And so that was exciting in itself. So we're going to move on to the next thing, which is, did we make it? We had 6 weeks to make everything happen. This is episode number 6. I'm going to share my screen again and give you an update on where we are. So this is our progress report for week 6. So one of the things that happened is that we decided to do a business name change. And so we are in the process of filing that paperwork. To change a business name is called an articles of amendment. And so we are actually in the process of doing that and hoping that process will be completed by next week when we hit the finale. But it was a complete turnaround because we wanted to take everything that Carolyn desired to do and bring it under one roof. And we actually were able to create what we call the phases. So we're filing the paperwork for the official business name change. We have determined a new business color scheme, which she's taken two of the colors from the previous logo, the blue and the orange, as well as the white. And we will be using that for the new business. We just determined the new website layout. As you know, we had already started building out a website for Carolyn, but we feel like this move and changing the business and how she's going to move through business is a much better fit for her. So we're just excited about that. And so along with determining the new website layout, we also outline each of the business phases along with the details. And we really got into that this week in this week's coaching session to hash out what people would actually receive. And then, of course, with the book is getting ready to go through its final preparations, including the professional editing, formatting, and the final cover design. We've made so much progress. Carolyn, how are you feeling about all the progress that we've made?
It's been overwhelming. It's been overwhelming. And that's in a good way, because we were trucking along with the initial business getting in touch with me. And when I started speaking about other businesses that I wanted to form down the line and began to give you a description of it, you said you can have it all under one roof. Of course, I didn't see that. And like Coach Hayes always says, you managed to put it all together and make it sound so good. It's like I couldn't resist it. But that was the shocker. We got down to like the last two episodes just to switch everything up, and I'm excited to see how this is gonna work out.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to work out. Of course, we are working behind the scenes. And let me say this, we're not just kicking out her other businesses' names. We are actually going to honor what she's already done by giving those phases the name of those previous businesses. And so that she can have that remembrance as she continues to move forward with her new business title. Also, speaking of title, do you want to tell everyone what you decided your title is going to be?
Mind shift coach.
We're just going to go with Mind Shift Coach. So we're super excited about that. And we talked about it and we were both on the same page and said, let's just go for it. So when we present her website, it will have on there introducing her as Carolyn Murphy, the Mind Shift Coach. So we are ready. And I just saw somebody's comment that said, I love that. Yep, I love it too. I'm just super excited for her to just see how everything comes together. I've been saying all week, we specialize in the wow. And I'm just looking forward to hearing her say, wow, when we do the final unveiling of everything. Like I said, we're looking forward to the big finale. That's next week. Please invite your friends, families, and other people so they can know what has happened with Carolyn's life. We have shifted her life so that she can go on and be able to shift other people's lives. Now we're getting ready to get into our teaching topic for tonight. Tonight we are talking about social media and the importance of utilizing social media as an overall marketing tool when you have a business or trying to build a business. And I'm going to start off with something really simple when it comes to social media, and that's just facts, because I don't think a lot of people really understand how important social media is when it comes to your business. Now, Carolyn is extremely active on social media, but looking at these facts, if you see my screen, it says how many people are on social media. Almost 5 billion people are currently on social media. There are an estimated 8 billion people in the world. So more than 50% of the world is on social media. So if you're trying to tell people about who you are and what you do, you need to be on social media. You're going to connect with somebody who understands your subject matter. And I had a conversation with someone just yesterday, and she said she has no social media pages, but she put a book out there, and she's been having a very difficult time promoting her book. And I said, you have to be on social media. And of course, I always offer help where I can, because it's so important to the marketing aspect of whatever it is that you're doing. Right now, the most popular social media platform, and this has been true for the last few years, is Facebook. Some people say Facebook is dying out because of TikTok. Now, TikTok has the highest growth rate, but Facebook has almost 3 billion users on it. So if you're not on Facebook, get on Facebook and start promoting whatever it is that you do. You will reach somebody. And another question people say is, where should I post? Because there are so many different platforms, and every week there's a new platform that's popping up for especially what we would call the younger generation. But I say what you need to do is experiment to see what platforms work best for you. For example, I post on Facebook, but sometimes I find that when it comes to posting scripture for our CWS sister division, it does better on TikTok. So play around with it and make sure you're making note of those times when you have more people responding to your post. And even if you're not getting the response that you want on a particular platform, I encourage people to continue to have a presence on all major platforms, regardless of what your popularity is, because you just never know. It may be that one post that goes viral and people will be like, and you'll be like, I never have anything happen here. And all of a sudden it happens for you. So make sure you just at least keep a presence, even if people are not liking. And I would say for me, major would include, of course, Facebook, Instagram, as well as X, formerly known as Twitter at this point. But also do TikTok, and there's so many other available platforms. Even utilizing Pinterest is a great platform to share your social media posts. What should you post? Well, share aspects of your story. Now, a lot of people just go on and share things that are personal, but if you're trying to build your business, make sure you're sharing aspects of your story, whether it's through quotes, blog posts, infographics, video, etc. And also make sure you are considering collaborating with other people. You can actually boost your followers just by working with someone else. Some of their followers will automatically follow you. And just think about it. If you do one collaboration every week and you're getting a minimum of 5 to 10 new followers as a result of that collaboration, just imagine where you will be by the end of the year. At a minimum, you should have a minimum of 500 new followers. And that can make such a difference when you are promoting your business, especially when it's time to present a new product. Social media habits. People spend an average of 2.5 hours a day on social media. 2.5 hours. And it's usually because you're randomly picking up your phone, you hear your phone beep, but people are spending that much time. So when they are going on social media, wouldn't it be great if they saw an ad for your product or your service when they picked up their phone? And I know before the pandemic, if people saw an ad that interests them 7 times at least, they were more likely to engage with that and even buy the product or service. During the pandemic, because so many people were at home, that number raised to 14. So they would need to see it about 14 times before they would take action on it. But if you are consistently sharing on social media about what it is that you're doing, sharing your story about why you're doing what you're doing, people are going to connect with it. It may take them 2 weeks, but that's one new customer. And then guess what? Word of mouth will get a lot of products and services sold. So those people will go out and tell other people about what it is that you're doing, and it's just generating more clients. And if you have a Facebook business page, a lot of people are promoting on their personal pages, but it is really important to have a Facebook business page if you're able to generate one. I mean, it's super easy to actually put it together, but you can see your audience makeup, and such as gender, what they like, cities they live in, and what they consider to be your best content. And that will help steer you toward what more you need to share, because it's like, again, we are trying to sell our products and our services. And then there's a question about how often should I post? And various people have different opinions. Some people say once a week, some people say once a day, sometimes people say 3 times a day. I say experiment and find out what works for you. Look at how people are reacting. Keep a reaction log, at least for a month time period, because that's going to help you determine what's working best for your particular audience. And let's say you want to do things outside of social media. The same principles apply if you're doing in-person events. Look at what people are reacting to, and because you want to give them more of that. Then after you figure out what it is that people want, the key to all of this is staying consistent. And if it's not working, just stop doing it. Don't waste your energy over there. If it does work, maximize it. Maximize it. We say 10 times it, then 10 times it again, and 10 times it again, because that is how you're going to build your audience. And then also keep a log about what times you're actually posting. So one of the good features with Facebook business pages is they will actually tell you when your followers are active. So here, this is a snapshot of one of our business pages. It's showing like for tomorrow, the most active time our followers will be on Facebook is at 7:00 p.m. And that just so happens to be the same time for Instagram. But if you look at Sunday, it's at 2:00 p.m. So maybe you don't need to post at the same time each day. Once you get very consistent, then people will know, oh, we should expect a post at this time. But look, take advantage of this information. Carolyn, she is very consistent about her posting, and she actually uses the Canva to actually schedule her post out. I utilize the Facebook planner, and it also includes Instagram, and I use the planner on X, formerly known as Twitter, to plan out my posts for our businesses. But Carolyn, will you share briefly how you schedule out your post concerning Canva?
Yes. I went on Pinterest and I grabbed something called a 30-day content planner through Instagram. I printed it off because I needed some type of guide. And so each day it gives you an idea of what to post. And so I pretty much go by it. Like one day is post a picture and tell your story. And I prayed and asked the Lord, what is it that He wanted me to post? And it turns out He wanted me to tell about my story, which I turned it into a blog post. I use Canva quite a bit. Um, I go on like twice a week and schedule out for that entire week. And because I didn't have a website, uh, I posted everywhere because I didn't know where my potential clients will be. So my total focus was and is on brand awareness. Because one thing that I've learned, consistency creates curiosity. And that's what I just heard in my spirit. And I also learned that consistency, um, it it's very important because the people has to trust you. So if you haphazardly go on and post, they may not even see you at all because there's so many people online. But like you said earlier, consistency, you're going to get in somebody's face. I post everywhere: Pinterest, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, X, Facebook, LinkedIn. Um, and I decided to do that because by the time I truly began to work the business, they've already seen me. They already are curious about me. I have gained so many new followers on LinkedIn. My LinkedIn page now, personal, it's like over 6,700 people. Um, and so it's important, even if you don't have a business. In this day and time, personal brand is very important. And so even if you don't have a business, you should at least be on one of the social medias because people are looking for you. And so I just believe, like a lot of the research says, don't post everywhere because it is exhausting, especially if you're working your business. But I'm not working mine, so but I just focus in. But Canva and Chat GPT, those are the two systems that I use right now. Trying to word a post, uh, I didn't have that knowledge to do that. So I just plug into Chat GPT, tell it what I'm endeavoring to do, and it spits out posts for everything. So me and ChatGPT and Canva, we have been two peas in the pods.
So consistency. And I will say this, even if you are not working a business, if you are part of an organization, if you go to church, and you're utilizing your gifts, talents, and abilities in those different places, see how you can encourage them to be a part of social media, or how you can become a more active part of the posting, because that is going to be important for growth within those various organizations. They need your help. A lot of people don't know or understand what is needed. I know we were, when I was working with my church, my former church, with their social media pages, I noticed that when I posted or scheduled a post for every day, we had more people coming on to find out more about the church. And what ended up happening is we have a smaller membership, but we have 10 times the number of followers on the actual church's Facebook page. And another thing that happened was the amount of outside donations increased because we were giving them more material to work with. So if your church is struggling in any kind of way, or organization that you're a part of is struggling in any kind of way, encourage them to consider being a part of social media and being very active. Have it doesn't have to be, you should need to have one person that's over it overall just to keep everything organized, but you can get the members involved. Sometimes one of the things I did is I had different people say prayers. We did special things for the holidays, and so everybody would give their input, and then we created special posts featuring those various families with either like what's their favorite things for the Christmas holidays, for or whatever the special holiday was. And that really sharing those posts and providing that type of engagement, it increased the engagement that the church had. And like I said, the more we did that, the more outside donations came in, which gave us more ability to do the ministry work that needed to be done. But really, it can be done with any organization. But that's just one example. Visual appeal. So Carolyn was talking about this. You need to have visual appeal because, of course, it's just like with food. You eat with your eyes first. You take in what it is that the business is doing with your eyes first. And so I say on here, visual appeal is everything. Your social media pages should appear as a well put together home, business, or outfit. and you need to start by using your brand colors. Yeah, I don't care if you have what type of business you have. If it's a business, if it's an organization, if it's something like a religious institution, whatever, a school, everybody needs to have brand colors so that people can immediately recognize that, oh, that's such and such that's putting something up, and make it attractive and make sure you're connecting with people emotionally. Here's a picture, and you see here a dancer with her head just bowed down. You don't even have to say anything, and the post is already telling you a story. It may not be the story that they want to tell, but it has immediately caught your attention because it's like, what's going on here? So this is something that's visually appealing, something that's going to capture people's attention because there is an emotional aspect to this. Now, Carolyn's colors are a specific orange, blue color scheme with white as a neutral in there. And I pulled these various backgrounds to show you that you can utilize different color backgrounds to help enhance what it is that you're doing. You don't necessarily have to just have an all blue post or all white post or all orange post, but she can throw some variety in there. So you want to use backgrounds with similar color schemes to your brand. And so this is one of them. This is an affirmation from the priority group, and it's talking about resilience and overcoming. And if you notice, these are Carolyn's colors with the blue and the orange, and of course the wording is in white. But it's just something a little different from what you may see ordinarily, or what you may see in just sharing what you want to say on a white background. This background has, if you can look very closely, it has tiny orange dots on the blue background as well. But just, this is a simple example, but just something that is going to capture people's attention. It's not only the wording, which is affirming, but also the color scheme, and people know, oh, that's Carolyn. Of course, I encourage you, if you have a logo, make sure you stick your logo on everything that you have. And this is another example of blue sky with the rising of the sun, or maybe even setting of sun. It's another affirmation from the priority group, but this is a great way to implement her color scheme into what it is that she's doing, just using different backgrounds. And like I said, the wording is affirming, so people are going to be automatically attracted to the wording, but the background being in her colors is going to enhance that as well. And now this is a little different. We utilize a paint background. One of the things that we've been talking about is a series of workshops that Carolyn is going to put together. So I just put together this little quick schedule to show what a particular schedule can look like if you are interested in showcasing scheduled events. But it's very eye-catching, but it has her color scheme in it, and it's giving you all the information you need. Like I said, it immediately captures your attention, and then you're going to go in and look at what is actually written. And one of the big things is that say it with as little words as possible. If you can say it in a shorter sentence, do that. If you try to put a lot of information in front of them, they're just really not going to connect with it. That's just another example. And my last big thing, and I do have a special announcement for tonight, is be authentic. People want to see you, and so many people are afraid to show. They feel like they have to be like somebody else, but people, your audience is going to connect with you as a person. They're not trying to, a lot of people, you got the TV show Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Don't try to keep up with them. Just be yourself. Be authentic. Tell your story, and you're just going to tell it in a variety of ways. But stay authentic. In the end, you will be happier with you as a person. You don't have to pretending to be somebody else. Truly does not make you feel good. if you're feeling down or you feeling like you always have to hide who you are as a person, eventually you may experience some type of depression because you're not being true to who you are. So be as authentic as possible. The people who will connect with you will be the people who will connect with you. And now I have a special announcement, but before I make my special announcement, I want to just get some feedback from the audience on what you thought about tonight concerning the social media aspect of things and the importance of it. Anybody want to share anything that you have personally tried that has worked for you?
If you're in business today and you don't have a social platform, you don't have a business. All you have is a brick and mortar. That's it. And the brick and mortar can only go that far. With social presence, you have reach to potentially all the billions of people. Anybody with a computer or laptop and access to the internet. And how you do it, as you broke it down there, Jackie, if you do it right, it's basically less frustration, less work. So you have to jump in there and do it right from jump. You have to know what you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, and use the tools that are available. And if you're not sure what tools to use so that you can make it more efficient, reach out. I would love to be able to help people. And I want to speak to what Coach Hyatt has said. So we saw during the pandemic, a lot of businesses end up shutting down permanently. And they said the number one reason those businesses ended up shutting down is because they refused to shift. They didn't want to be online. They didn't want to try delivery methods. They just didn't want to change how they operate. And we are in an ever-changing world. You don't have to change who you are, but change the methodology so that you can maximize what it is that you're receiving. It's just so important. If you want to survive, if you want to die out, hey, have at it. But we want to see you successful and moving forward. But so many businesses they lost out because they absolutely refuse to change. And refusing to change, no matter what aspect of life you're in, it is going to cause death in that area in some kind of way. Okay, it's like churches who refuse to change to be able to bring in more. Those churches are dying out. You got to be able to speak to your customer base. And if your customer base is shifting, you need to be able to shift. It doesn't mean you change who you are. You're just changing the methodology. And we have to all be open to how we are doing things. If you had to ask me, me doing what I'm doing just a few years ago, I would have never seen myself actually doing this because I was not thinking that. But somebody else saw in me the ability to do. And then I took a leap of faith and then started getting into it. I had to change. And now I am very blessed because I'm building my corporation as a result. And this is just part of what we are doing. And I'm excited about what is going to come forth. And Carolyn, you had spoken early on about the need to change and how you saw it was time for you to shift. And what do you think the consequences would have been if you did not shift when you did?
Like you said, dying. And I think the thing is with me, I think that's why a lot of us die without knowing our purpose because we don't want to come out of our comfort zone. You know, that's the t-shirt that I wore because that's your safety zone. I had fear that riddled my life. I had fear of the unknown, fear of rejection, fear of abandonment. I mean, it was just on and on. So to keep me from trying to feel those things, I just stayed in my little bubble. But staying in my little bubble caused me even more heartache and hypertension and God knows what else. But in 2018, the Lord told me, okay, it's time to come out of your comfort zone. And I came out of it kicking and screaming because I really didn't want to do it, but I knew I needed to. I desire to change deep down inside. So refusing to change stunts your growth and eventually ends up in death.
And I know someone said there's no growth in the comfort zone. No growth in the comfort zone. It's only when we start to get uncomfortable that we start doing things that will actually cause us to grow. We all have to shift at some point in life. And for me, it's mind-boggling, especially with the example I gave earlier of someone who just launched a book. Well, actually, the book has been out a while and has no social media presence. Even if you go to your local bookstores, your customer base is going to be limited. And what you want to do is expand that. And that means creating the global community. It is so key to create that global community. Does anybody else have any comments? I want to make sure I've read everything in chat as well. Someone said, what we pray about and believe it shall manifest. Thank you, Jesus. Absolutely. That was from Paula. We got to be able to shift. We got to be able to see when the opportunities are coming to us. I look at Carolyn, and I know it was scary for her when I said, you know what, let's bring everything under one roof. I had said it for multiple weeks, and then she finally was like, okay, let's do it. And let me say this, it is okay. If you're feeling fearful, it's okay. The big thing is acknowledging what is actually happening with you. And that's where the problems come in, because we refuse to acknowledge that is what's going on. And then when you do acknowledge, see what is real and what is not. And yeah, okay, some people may reject you, but the way I look at rejection is this: they just didn't want what you had to offer at that time. But sometime in the future, they may actually want what you have, and they'll remember you, or they may know somebody else that wants what you have. Don't take it personally when you are experiencing rejection. They're not rejecting you as a person. They're just rejecting what you have to offer at that time. They just don't need that particular service or product at that time. So don't take it personally. What are some of the other fears you said you had, Carolyn?
Well, fear of people judging, hearing my story, fear of the meanness, because there are people who hide behind their computers and they can say some really mean and nasty stuff. So that was another thing that I feared.
So fear of judgment. Your grandmama said this. They talked about Jesus. There's going to be always somebody who's going to talk about you, but that's just their way of making themselves feel better and bigger. Even if they're saying things that are despairing concerning your situation. What I have found is that if people are saying negative, you are a victim, and then they're judging you based on the fact that you are a victim, that usually means they either have experienced that themselves, they are a perpetrator themselves, or they are afraid to acknowledge how they truly feel about those types of issues. And so it's scary to them. So really, when they're sitting behind the computer screen and on the keyboard, they're acting in fear. But you are definitely acting encouraged by sharing your story. And there are going to be so many more people who are going to be encouraged, and their lives going to be changed because you chose to be courageous and step out there and share your story. The people behind on the computer, the keyboard warriors, as we say, they're the ones who are truly fearful. And so we don't want their fear to influence us. Let them, if they choose to be scared, because that it's a choice to stay afraid. Especially once you know the truth, it is a choice to stay afraid. They can choose that, but you chose victory. And we have to walk in that aspect of things.
Speaking of fear, if I may interject,
Sure.
I was talking to my sister, Mimi, I was talking to her, and I was telling her about the book reading, and I was telling her that I was kind of afraid to do this because I didn't know how she was going to react, or my other sister. And before I can get it out good, she said, "Thank you for considering us." She said, "But you don't worry about us or no one else." She said, "That's your truth, and that's your truth to tell." And it was very encouraging. Even though I wasn't fearful at that time, but I was just telling her how fearful I was in the beginning. But it felt good to hear that from her, because I know we're both on this healing journey, even though it looks different, but we're both on the healing journey.
Yeah, it's so wonderful to have a good support system. And those people who truly understand, or even if they don't understand, the ones who truly want to see you win, they will be there to help you win. Ms. Mitchell, I see that you unmuted. Would you like to make a comment?
I'm just sitting here, just absolutely overwhelmed and just so proud of Carolyn. And your journey, Carolyn, has been remarkable and phenomenal. Knowing you throughout difficult times and the good times and everything, this is certainly an affirmation, but the power of resilience in you has always been there. You've overcome, so many things, and as my aunt was still, I rise, no matter what. So I am so happy I'm really looking forward to the book and to celebrate the transformation, and thank all of those who were involved in it. Each of us had our own little pieces of this magnificent puzzle that is a portrait of beauty and love and hope, and God is not through with you. There's much more to come, and we're just going to be there with you throughout the process of your own growth. And it's just really exciting. Not surprising, but it's exciting. My best to you always. Love you dearly.
I'm excited. Carolyn, of course, we were talking in the coaching session, and I said, there have been people who have just been hanging with you through the whole process. And I said, I think we're going to do something for week 6 for the audience members who show up. And so my special announcement is that I want to, we were talking about social media posts tonight, and I want to provide everybody here with 10 customized social media posts that you can utilize with your business. If you don't want to utilize it with your business, you can utilize it with an organization or your church, but you will receive some follow-up emails. May not be today or tomorrow, maybe Monday, but you will receive follow-up emails. And so I'll have some questions for you, and you can just tell me who you would like for those specialized posts to be for your business, or if you want them to be designed for someone else. But that is our gift to you. You have been hanging in there and supporting Carolyn, and you being a part of this helped push us as well. So we will be doing 10 specialized social media posts for each of you. And like I said, you can decide on if you want it for your business or services. If you want to do it for your church or another organization, just let us know. And of course, next week is the finale where we present everything. So you will get a fresh view of the new website. You will, Carolyn will be giving her signature talk. And I think once we just unveil the website, you'll see her book will be on sale for people to buy. So I'm just really excited for next week's programming, because this is the culmination. We said 6 weeks and we are there. And just looking forward to sharing it all with you all.
Yeah.
But we will see you all next week. And like I said, bring a friend or 2 or more. get hurt.